Well, guys, we already have a confirmed signing, even though it's not completely official yet. Real Madrid hasn't announced it, but come on, this is moving forward. Even though I'm showing this screenshot from Fabrizio Romano, he wasn't the one who broke the news. We'll reveal who it was in a moment. And by the way, we already have a meme from the World Cup. It was this footballer from South Africa listening to Sampaio, the Brazilian referee, explaining why he was going to give him a red card, which, by the way, I don't think was deserved. Well, it was amazing, really amazing. So we already have a World Cup meme in the very first match. Incredible. There have been more red cards than goals in the match between Mexico and South Africa. All right, let's get started. Welcome, Madridistas. How are you? As I was saying, Bernardo Silva, what do you think? He's 32 years old and he would be signing for 2 years with an option for a third, depending on the number of matches he plays. Look, all of this has come together in 36 hours, apparently. It's been super sudden. Vamos. Come on, lightning fast. One of the quickest Real Madrid deals I can remember. There was barely any time to even speculate, right? And well, they're saying that he actually had a deal done with Atletico de Madrid, but well, he had a verbal agreement with Atletico de Madrid, but Real Madrid showed up at the last minute to take him away from them, of course. If Madrid or Atletico and Mourinho or Cholo Simeone calls him, well, look, I'm going with Mourinho naturally. All of this has been published in the last few days, that it's between the two clubs, that the decision will come after the World Cup. We said this, right? When the player recently said in a mixed zone, I'm going to wait until after the World Cup, it was because both clubs were approaching him. Well, it was Real Madrid who finally got the player. As I said, Fabrizio Blaugrana has just announced that here we go here. But it was Ben Fernandez Santos, who is a journalist, a very interesting one we've been following for a while, who works with Ciro, and he's Swiss, Portuguese, and Spanish. My goodness. Well, I think this guy used to work for a French outlet before. I think it was Le Journal du Real. Maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, the point is he was the first to say it today. Crazy, because in just a few hours, it went from just a hint that Madrid is about to sign this guy to, bam, they've signed him, right? And I don't know, let me know in the comments what you think. I said it in the previous video. I really like Bernardo Silva. I really do. Maybe the thing about being 32 years old is nowadays footballers at 32 still perform well. I mean, just ask Cristiano, ask Modric, ask so many others, right? But, well, here there's a change in the club's policy naturally, which is because someone like Mourinho is being given authority and they're listening to him. And he said, no, I want this guy. That's regarding a sudden change in the club's policy, which I don't think is bad, because someone asked me earlier, or rather commented, hey, has the club's transfer policy changed because things haven't gone well? Well, yes, perfect, right? Yes, for me, that's great. I never understood why certain footballers are completely written off once they turn 30. I think this guy is going to bring experience and a lot of quality. And also a matter of maturity and a winning mentality in the locker room, which many who have played for Real Madrid have had, but who are now gone. We should remember Alava and Carvajal left and went pro, as did Modric, Benzema, and others in recent years. But this guy, Bernardo Silva, even though we've given his city a hard time in recent years, but he's a European champion, a winner. And also, well, he has an exceptional left foot, and he's a really great guy. But football-wise, do you think this is bad for Arda Güler, who's already there, Nico Paz, who could come? As we said in the previous video, he could come, but things are pretty stalled there, right? Do you think a player like Bernardo Silva was needed? Not to criticize him or anything, it's just that I'm still waiting for a different kind of midfielder to arrive, more of a defensive type or a pivot. Maybe he'll come. The summer is long. I insist, the summer is long. But, well, of course, with Mourinho's signings, by the way, it became official today. I mentioned it in the previous video, although, well, as I was uploading it, the news was coming out and I could only put it in a caption, right? Look, they posted it, Real Madrid. The tweet with Mourinho's statement was posted at 8:13 p.m., the same numbers as 2013, the year Mourinho left, remember? I don't know if they did it on purpose or not. But it's a day that many people had been dreaming about for a long time. I didn't think Mourinho coming was bad. I actually like it, but it wasn't exactly a big deal for me. Now, the second coming, or that we have to go to Cibeles now just because Mourinho is coming, right? I mean, I'm not that obsessed with him, but well, I think it's fine given the situation we have in the locker room and all. I think it's good that the Portuguese coach is coming back. And as I said, with him bringing in Konate, Dumfries, Bernardo Silva, Hendrick coming back, with Alava and Carvajal leaving, having more depth. Santueno is a reserve team player. That's already 25 spots, 25 spots. So more people have to leave. There's a list of players Mourinho wants to move on, and in recent days they've talked about Camavinga, Asensio, of course, Ceballos, etc. And they have to leave. I mean, it's going to be a summer with a lot of departures if we want to keep signing players, especially in midfield, in a position we really need. And that's where Mateus Fernandes comes into play. If Madrid does start letting players go, maybe the West Ham player could end up at Real Madrid. Young guy, Portuguese, 21 years old. He didn't go to the World Cup, by the way. I was surprised he didn't go, but he really is an engine in the midfield, and I think it would be great because it's a position that needs strengthening. Well, we'll see. Tell me what you think. This signing, the fact of taking him away from Atletico or Barça, doesn't really make me especially happy. It amuses me because it's always a nice little plus, but look, this one sounded a bit more like a Barça signing to me, you know? Because of the type of player, since Barca usually goes for these kinds of players and doesn't mind if they're a bit older, they arrive on a free transfer, and it was stranger to think of him at Madrid. In fact, Madrid as a club wouldn't have gone after this man. This happened because Mourinho insisted. He could be a Ozil of this era, right? I always thought it was going to be Güler. In fact, there's talk that PSG might want Arda Güler. If Arda Güler leaves Real Madrid, I have no idea what I'll do, but I don't think he will. As mentioned before, this guy takes Arda's position. Well, anyway, and about the World Cup. First match, Mexico beat South Africa 2-0. At home, it was celebrated a lot, as you can imagine. And this was the moment, because I think that of the red cards that were shown, the first one was very clear. If a Mexican player is going straight to the goal and he gets tripped from behind, that's a clear red card. This is the one that really caught my attention, which was the second one for South Africa. And I think there's a little slap. He's just pushing him out of the way, but there's no elbow. There's no act of aggression serious enough. And for it to be a red card, especially if he's going to save, you see it clearly. I don't know. I think they kind of pushed him to send the player off there. And then the third one, I think it was a bit to make up for it because I don't think it was in Oxoe's area. Even though the South African player was entering the box, I think Montes's foul was right on the edge of the area. I think there were people nearby, so that situation, which was a dangerous one, but it wasn't a super clear goal-scoring chance. He could have settled it with a yellow card, but well, this was the second one. And here, Cesar Sampaio, well, the referee Pereira, Wilton Pereira Sampaio, sorry, I don't know why I said Cesar earlier. This man, well, you know that referees have to announce their decisions in English after a VAR review, right? Turns out he does this. I'll make it small since FIFA may not have given me permission. As far as I know, maybe they did. That thing about some YouTubers being able to show World Cup images, and since I don't want to take any risks, well, let's make it small. And now let's look at the guy's face, because you can't miss the South African player's reaction, not understanding anything the Brazilian referee was saying. That's how he explained that he was changing the yellow card for a red one.
Brennan is attacking, man. I'm not that serious, I tell him. They're translators, haha. There.
He's here playing, and look at the South African soccer player, because he says, well, do you want to finish the sentence? Come on, man. No, this guy didn't understand anything. With that face, he just had that look on his face. He was waiting to see what the Brazilian referee was saying without understanding anything. And he ended up saying this about faith.
About decision, direct. Red card.
Yes. Well, you get the red card part, and that's it, right? But anyway, that face of this man is going to be used as a meme in a match that wasn't bad at all. Today, we saw a decent Mexican national team. We said it before. I think Vasco Aguirre, even though Mexico has gone to other tournaments with more famous players, with more star power, that's not really the case this time. But I think they have a serious and good team, and that's important. The team effort won their first match, and I think Mexico will qualify easily. Hey, at the Azteca, the first stadium in World Cup history to host 3 opening matches, a legendary World Cup stadium where they were crowned, El and Maradona, where we saw the best goal in World Cup history, that magical run by Maradona against the English. And of course, the hand of God. And today, well, it has hosted another historic match because it was the opening match with the most red cards in World Cup history and where there were more red cards than goals. Well, guys, I hope everything goes well for you. Give it a like if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel, please, and share it. Give you ideas for videos, please. It's really helpful. That's all. Over these 40 days, we'll be making videos, out on the street, wherever we are, and some calmer ones like this, usually at the end of the day. We'll analyze what we've seen, share Real Madrid news, and comment. See you next time. Thanks for joining. Bye.